Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Hales and I make videos about the books that I'm reading. So today I have my monthly TBR, and this is also going to be my TBR for Haley-ween, which is Haley Hughes's readathon for the spooky season. So that's what I have today. Side note, I always forget how much better I like filming when I have my ring light. And I just realized that I can plug the ring light into the wall with like a phone charger. So when these videos look so much better, it's because I figured out that I don't have to have my laptop open to operate the ring light like I've been doing. I'm not currently sure if I'm going to do a wrap up for September. I did a wrap up, I think, last month. I believe it was August that I did a wrap up for, and I enjoyed it, but it was also like kind of tedious. So if you like wrap ups and you want to see more of those and like what I rated, all the books that I read in the month, let me know in the comments and I can definitely do more of them. But right now I'm kind of on the fence, kind of iffy about whether or not I'm going to keep doing them. And with that said, my current plan for the last bit of September is to finish Fourth Wing, and then I hope to finish House of Sky and Breath and A Court of Silver Flames, and possibly The King of Crows. I want to get all of those done before moving into the last 3 months of the year, the last quarter, because I've been trying to read all of them for over a year. So I really want to get those done and move on, and 2 of them are in the middle of series, so that's like I'm not totally moving. Well, I guess 3 of them are in the middle of series because Fourth Wing as well. But like with The King of Crows, I just want to get that out of the way. It's been 3 years, I think, since that came out, and I haven't finished it because I am not prepared to say goodbye to those characters. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to not having a diviner's book that I'm like actively reading. So that makes me sad. But that is my current plan for the last couple of days. And then moving into spooky season TBR. I literally just said that I'm moving into like the spooky season TBR, but the first couple of books that I want to read in October aren't spooky books. They are romance books. They are my favorite little spicy kind of super indulgent romances that I really like. So the first one is Twisted Games. I'm about 30% into this right now, so I'm hoping that I can finish this sometime in October. It's not high on my priority list to finish in September because I have other things that I want to read. I need to finish Fourth Wing in the next 3 days. That's kind of scaring me. I think 17% into the book right now. And I do listen on 3 times speed, which is the highest that Libby will go. And I am listening to it on audiobook. So I'm hoping to get that done. I could feasibly knock it out tonight. When I'm done filming, I do plan to just go lay in bed and listen to the audiobook and play my little tile matching game that I'm currently obsessed with and like 250 levels into. So that's kind of my plan for tonight. But that said, I'm not super like, so that said, I'm not super pressed about getting Twisted Games done before September is over, even though I have also been trying to read this book for a couple of months now. I don't have a Scribd subscription currently, and I was listening to the audiobook there, and I'm honestly thinking about doing 1 month of Scribd just to finish that book. But I'm reading more with Libby, and I'm reading more with my Kindle Unlimited subscription right now. So I'm trying to do those, and like, I'm never not gonna have a Kindle Unlimited subscription unless they just take the service away completely, because it's like my favorite thing. I love having so many books at my fingertips, but I'm on an audiobook kick right now. And as much as I love Libby, and as much as I will continue to use Libby, especially for like the bigger name titles that aren't on Scribd, I think that I need to get Scribd for at least a month, finish up the series that I had been reading, and then pause my membership again. So that's kind of the plan right now, I think. So we'll see how that goes. Then the second book that I plan to read in October is another one of these little spicy romance books that I really like, and that is King of Wrath. And I was kind of like, I was a little hesitant about this series. It didn't totally appeal to me. And then I saw some quotes from it, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and try and read that. But Twisted Love, which is by the same author, it's just in a different series, I didn't like it that much. I think I gave it 3 or 4 stars. It was good. It was compelling, mostly. I didn't totally love it until the last like 20%. But I was like, I'm gonna keep going with the series, because I know that when it comes to like the first book in a series, it doesn't always hit right. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't always like land correctly for me, the first book in a new series, especially by an author that I haven't read before, and I hadn't read anything by Anna Hong yet. So I moved on, and I was like, I'm gonna keep reading the series, and I'm gonna pick up Twisted Games. And I am really enjoying it. I love the trope. I love anything with an element of like royalty. So I was really into that when I picked it up. And I had liked Bridget in Twisted Love. She made an appearance and was mentioned a couple of times, and I really enjoyed her. So I'm really glad that I did pick it up, and I'm excited to move on to King of Wrath. I don't know why I had been a bit hesitant about King of Wrath, because I really liked the Maid series that was Nico Russo. Dante kind of reminded me of Nico when I was reading the description, and it just felt like the same kind of dynamic. And I think, a little hesitant because I thought that they seemed so similar, and that was my favorite in that series, which I think is the unpopular opinion from everything that I've seen. But I'm really looking forward to getting into the series. I've read a little bit more like romance books in general, and I've moved more into the darker and the spicier than I had last year when I started really getting into romance books, because I'd not typically been a romance reader. I was very into like young adult fantasy and things of that nature before I sat down and read, I believe, The Love Hypothesis was the first of this like newer contemporary romance wave that I started to read. So now I'm super excited to be diving into it more and seeing how it kind of holds up in my And can I just say, this book is so floppy. I love it. I love it so much. I was trying to hold it up for this video, and it's like, it's just flopping. It's just flopping around. And I am super excited to read it because of that, even though I'm probably going to read most of it on Kindle Unlimited. I'm going to try to insert a picture onto the video because I don't want to get up and go get these books off of my shelf, but I think that I'm going to try to reread the V.C. Andrews Orphans series, I believe is what it's called. That was my favorite of her series when I was a kid. It was one of the first in her catalog, in her backlist, that I had read when I was in, I think I was in middle school. So I am super excited to kind of dive back into that because they had been my favorite. And then there's a big, all four of the orphans together in one called Runaways that I'm excited to get to read as well, because I remember that being very fun. When I say fun, I mean, for whatever reason, I really liked the road trip runaway kind of scenario in books. And maybe not even running away necessarily. It was published under the Point Horror imprint of Scholastic, and so I've been trying to start it for about a month now, and I'm trying to vlog it because I remember really liking this one and it feeling like kind of like a juvenile Halloween. Like, Halloween feels a little bit more like geared toward a higher age group, and R.L. Stine's books have always felt kind of like low to mid teens to me. I don't know if it's just because that's how old I was when I was reading them that it kind of evokes that feeling for me. But I am super excited that it's kind of rolling over into October reading these because spooky season. And then I am also reading A New Fear by R.L. Stine. It's the first in the Fear Street sagas. And I am reading this on Scribd, so that's another reason that I feel like I need to restart my membership for a month to kind of clear off the things that I had started on the app and then reassess what I plan to do with my membership for the rest of the year. But I do want to finish this up, and it'll probably be October before I'm able to finish it up. So that's the plan. I am hopeful. This is one of my favorites, and I remember really liking the sagas when I was younger. There's one that I remember loving so much, and I don't have a copy of it, and I'm trying to find it. But I am trying to also read them in order to get more of the arc, because when I was a kid, I did not read them in order. I didn't know there was an order, honestly. And when it comes to the main books, there's not really a need to read them in order, because while they are technically interconnected and they take place in the same town, and Fear Street is a whole thing, and that's the underlying theming and plot around it, the sagas have. And then I mentioned in the book haul that I posted today that I had got the Fear Street Seniors books. Most of them, some of them. I don't know, I got 7 of them. And I don't remember reading these when I was a kid. I don't think I ever really saw them when I was a kid. But I am going to start with Fear Street Seniors #1, which is Let's Party, and work my way through the series and hope that by the time I get to, I think it's book 3 or 4 that I don't have in numerical publication order, hopefully I will be able to find more of them and finish not only just collecting them because I do love them so much, but be able to read it as the overall arc, because this does, I believe, follow as you go farther in, like the characters are dying off. Kind of like, yes, it's interconnected. They all still have the individual storylines like Fear Street typically does, but you also get a yearbook at the beginning. And I know in the later books that people are like crossed out and it says rest in peace or just RIP or something, I believe, over their pictures. So I really don't want to have to skip any of them, because then I'm going to be like, oh shoot, that character died. So I don't want to have to deal with that. But I also know that I can't find most of them on like Scribd or Kindle. There are some Fear Street books in ebook form, but I cannot find all of them. And I am begging for Scholastic to put them on Kindle, or just, I mean, just put them somewhere, because I need it. I need it really badly. I am hopeful that more will be put on Kindle. I will sit there, I will type the entire thing up. I will do it myself if they just put it on. I'm like, please, please, good gracious. I have this little clicker that I got. I went to a place up in Tampa called Selfie World, and I have this tiny little clicker remote to film with, and I keep dropping it. I wish that I could say that that was the first time it's happened in this video, but it's not. So I will be doing anything that I can to get those Fear Street books into my Halloween TBR. I need to go through the prompts again and see where I can fit them in, but I will probably also try and get some of those romance books that I'm reading in for that. And I believe that at some point in October, I'm going to get The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James on audio, hopefully in time for the readathon. But I can't control how quickly other people listen to it on Libby. So I'm hopeful, and I might end up finding it elsewhere, finding like Scribd or Audible and doing something like that, because I really want to read it and I don't really want to physically read it. I'm really enjoying currently listening to thrillers on audio. I read The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and I cannot currently think of the other thriller that I read, but it was good. I remember enjoying it. It wasn't a thriller. It wasn't a thriller. I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry. That was the last thing I read on audio before I picked up The Only One Left. It was Book Lovers. It was not a thriller. I don't know why I thought I read multiple thrillers in a row, because I blew through both of them like in one night, because like I said, I read audiobooks at a 3 times speed, and I blew through them playing my little tile match game, and I think they're merging in my head, because I was like, oh yeah, I read multiple thrillers over the weekend. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I am not gonna do a TBR jar pick this month, unfortunately. It is super fun and I love doing them, and I might check back in when Halloween rolls around and see if I decide to like match a prompt with another prompt in the jar and kind of see how that goes. I do want to make a second TBR jar with just book titles so that I can pull out specific books, so that I could have like a jar of like horror and thriller that I can pull out if I'm in the mood for that, but not necessarily in the mood for to like search for something, and would like, I'm in the mood for that genre, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick something out. So I'm thinking about doing that. I have to find a cute little jar to do that, or maybe use the cat mug that I had been doing, but that's kind of my plan regarding my TBR for the month. This video has been so long. When it comes to horror for the rest of the month, I don't really know what my plan is. I am a very big mood reader. There are some thrillers on Scribd that I am going to try to get through, and see how many of those I can kind of get through before I recancel my membership for the time being, because there are a couple, there's this like bunch of Blake Pierce book series that I've been working my way through because he writes so much. So I'm working on those, and I think it's book 6 in one of his series. It's like a 31 book series. It's insane. I'm gonna try to get through those and then see what else they have for spooky season and go from there. So that's pretty much it for this video. I don't really have anything else to say. It's a TBR. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this, because this video has been way longer and I've been sitting here filming way longer than I thought I was going to. So I have a lot to go edit because I don't think that this is going to be a Friday video. I think I'm going to put this up on like Tuesday just for the heck of it. Maybe possibly I might cut that out. I might do it Friday. I don't know. I need to get videos scheduled because I'm going out of the country first like week of November and need to have a whole bunch of stuff ready to go for that. So yeah, I don't know when you're gonna see this. I might put it Friday. So that's pretty much it for this video. I don't have really much else to say about my TBR. I am gonna try my best. I think I've set more realistic goals this month than I did last month, definitely. So we're gonna see how October goes. I am hopeful. I did forget. I forgot. And then Hopeless by Elsie Silver comes out October 13th. And I'm gonna try to read that. I just read a teaser of, I think it was two different scenes in the books. One from the newsletter and then one was on her Facebook page. And I am so excited. I can't wait. I need that book so bad. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!